Hello, everyone. What's going on? My name is Timpedia. Welcome to the MTG special number 2, I guess we can call it.
The second episode of the MTG edition.
Yeah. This is like the Masters set coming out once a year.
Hell yeah, outside of the normal release schedule.
But we're here for, once again, we have too much Magic news to talk about on the normal podcast, so we are bringing it here to the special edition sans Tyler, because he's not nearly a Magicer.
He doesn't care about Magic as much as we do.
I would say not really at all outside of the custom deck.
Nah, he'll play Commander when we give him a deck, but outside of that,
Side note, guess what I bought today?
something for Kess.
Well, specifically, we were at Walmart, and the only thing they had left was one copy of Wizards. And when I looked at the list, I was like, I need about 8 of those cards, including Kess. And Kess is already like $15 on her own.
For real?
Yeah.
Damn.
On TCG Player, last week when I was at Commander, someone looked it up and said it was $13.50 on TCG. So I figured buying the box along with like Path of Ancestry, Command Tower, Felwar Stone, like it's not even the value adds up quite as much. It's almost more that it's just convenient to get like 8 cards out of the way, especially because what I took out of Narset is already like 25 cards. I'm already over a quarter of the way done with the deck, and I haven't spent $1 yet outside of buying the deck. So
yeah.
Now I just need to dig through all of our commons and uncommons, find a bunch of counter spells I wanted, and then put the deck together. And then as soon as Ixalan comes out, I'll be good there with one of the cards from that stone that reduces instant sorcery cost.
Yeah.
And then like Mana Drain in November, but I think I'll build the deck before then because I'm just too excited now.
Just slot in some other shitty counterspell until you get that, and then bam, upgrade.
It doesn't even matter. Technically, I could even just run it as a 98. Like, no one at the store counts or anything like that.
Oh man, Tim's a cheater.
Is it though? I mean, would you rather I run Mana Drain? I mean, I could easily run a proxied Mana. I could spend the 180 on the Judge promo Mana Drain in the meantime.
Just like slip 100 into Ultra Pros and be like, yeah, this is a Mana Drain.
This is a Mana Drain I'm gonna buy in November, guys. Oh god. Anyway, we have a bunch of pretty major stuff to talk about because HasCon, as I said on the main podcast this week, HasCon was this past weekend, and Wizards used that opportunity, obviously being a major part of Hasbro, to talk about Magic the Gathering a lot. And we saw what Arena's going to look like. Obviously, all the iconic Masters spoilers happened, and we got a bunch of... And today was the final full spoilers posting for Ixalan, so we can see the whole set now. So we're going to talk about those 3 topics, and that'll cover us on Magic for a good while, considering... What's coming up?
What's coming up?
I was just...
Iconics after that, and then like right after Iconic comes out, I think is when... Or no, hold up. Rivals of Ixalan's in February?
Explorers.
So, Explorers.
Oh, no. It is Rivals. There's also the Explorers thing. And wow, November has... Okay, so after Ixalan, we have Gift Pack, which no one knows what it is. Merfolk vs. Goblins doesn't matter. Iconic Masters, we already know the whole thing. Explorers of Ixalan, no one knows what that is yet. From the Vault Transform, no one cares. Unstable in December. Rivals of Ixalan in January. Masters 25 in March. Dominaria in April. And July is Core 2019.
Yeah, so we're going to hit the lull right after this set comes out where it's like, nothing really gets spoiled for a while.
Well, there's a lot coming out, but there's no major sets.
Yeah, I mean...
Which is fine.
We're all sitting here waiting to see if Curse Catcher gets reprinted in the Merfolk vs. Goblin deck.
I mean...
It shouldn't be like $15 uncommon.
I mean, the real thing is Iconic Masters is the major set coming out in 2 months. We already have the whole spoiler, so there's nothing to spoil. So it's just minor products. Like, we'll talk about From the Vault Transform and Explorers when they're announced, but... Who cares what gift... still don't know what Gift Pack is, and Merfolk vs. Goblins... Oh, wait, no, we looked at Gift Pack. Remember we looked at it and it was like, this sucks?
It's just like... It's the holiday box, but rebranded.
It's the only thing that's cool is there's a spin down in it, but I don't... Yeah. It's $20. It's not worth it for 3 packs, a Metalwork Colossus, Kari Zev, 5 shiny basic lands from Mark Pool.
Oh, like the predetermined foils is along with packs, yeah.
Yeah, there's 5 Mark Pool lands and then a spin down, and no. Anyway, let's talk about Arena.
So this one, I was honestly expecting the MMO to get announced. I didn't realize Arena was completely different.
Yeah, you said that on the podcast, and I was shocked. I was like, I thought we had talked about the fact that it was an umbrella term, not the MMO.
Well, no, Magic Digital Next is a umbrella term, but I thought Arena was the name they were using for the MMO.
I'm okay. I believe you. I just didn't. I never thought that.
Both those tidbits of information leaked around the same time that Arena was the name of something, and that they were a studio's working on MMO. And I'm just like, oh, put 1 and 1 together. Must be the name of the MMO they're working on.
1 + 1 = 5.
Yeah, right. It seemed logical at the time. The point is, they showed off the early alpha stages of Magic the Gathering Arena, which is meant to be Magic's Hearthstone competitor and replacement for their Duel of the Planeswalkers product.
So can we say this is about as alpha as the DBZ Fighter first trailer?
For an alpha, it looks really good.
It like, I guess alpha is when content isn't done, but content for a game like that is never going to be done. Considering all the considering the rules engine is implemented, I'm pretty sure that's over half the work for a Magic the Gathering game.
Honestly, it is. Like, the UI is one thing. Once you get that down, that's easy. The thing is, with Magic the Gathering, the back end is the worst part of the system.
Absolutely.
Like, unlike with like Magic Online, this game has to be able to handle stuff like phase changes and priority shifting and all that stuff. That's honestly, in paper Magic, you shortcut like 80% of the time.
Well, no, you don't mean like Magic Online. You mean like duels, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you said Magic Online. Magic Online has all that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. In Magic Online, they do have it fully implemented, and it's like, especially for newcomers or someone who's not familiar with Magic, it's really annoying to deal with like priority passing.
Oh, yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, but in order to implement like a full set of cards, you kind of need that.
That's probably the reason we've had Magic Online as long as we have without a full rework, because the rules engine for that. Can you imagine how many?
Oh my god!
Like, I know everyone bitches about it, and there are definitely problems, and Wizards probably should go for better people. Like, I know that apparently Wizards pays way below industry standard for their programmers.
Really shitty for MTGO. It's
obviously they should improve that, but I also can't even fathom how, like, what the code for those rules looks like.
I mean, one of the things was that MTGO was written during a very different design era. I remember when Theros came out and the cycle.
Oh yeah, you were talking about this.
The enchantment creatures, where it's like the archetypes. It was like creatures you control gain first strike, and creatures your opponents control lose and can't gain first strike. And like something like that had never been done, and the developers were like, fuck, how do we write that into the current rules engine? So they had like very specific exceptions for these 5 cards that completely changed what was going on the battlefield. And this has apparently been happening more frequently as the rules kind of change.
Well, I think I remember, maybe it was back in like Battle for Zendikar, or even before that, during one of Mark Rosewater's like here's what the design team looks like, kind of the first article of spoiler season. I think he talked about how they had started having a digital representative because they wanted someone from Magic Online to come in and be like, look, if you just change this slightly, this gets 10,000 times easier for us to do.
Yeah, they started accounting for their digital products with what they're designing. So
honestly,
completely unruly.
Considering how, I don't know if you saw the trailer that Wizards put out. Mark Rosewater retweeted it, so I watched it. It was like yesterday. There was a video he was in where they talked about Arena, and he's like, we've been working on Arena for years. I would not be surprised if Arena's original planning stages started when that digital person also came on. Like, I know that they were there for MTGO, and they probably were. Like, that's definitely what they were there for, but they were probably also there for Arena.
Most likely. Like, this is probably why they held off on, like, the last update to MTGO since the last one that everyone's been complaining about. Yeah. Because they didn't want to overhaul MTGO when they knew they would essentially be trying to replace it with this new...
I don't think replace it. I think... Because I remember that when that investor meeting for Hasbro came out, and they were like, here's what Magic Digital Next looks like. And it's like, we're offering other products, but as far as the online game itself, there's going to be a product before you get to MTGO.
Yeah, like an intro.
This is like the standard product, and then if you really like this, you go into MTGO, which is harder to play, but those are the eternal formats.
Yeah, that was the one thing they did bring up, is they're starting with the current standard sets, and they did discuss that they might add older sets, but they're not going to add like everything modern legal all in one go. Like, we might see stuff like where they have an MTGO where it's like flashback weekends. Where
that's exactly what Saffron Olive was tweeting about,
drafts or something.
do like a flashback draft, and then over time, I could see Arena eventually doing Modern. It's not going to go past that.
People are talking about this might be Wizards' chance to say like, yeah, Frontier is a valid format. Let's just implement the 5 sets we need.
A lot of people were saying this might also just be, but Wizards might also just be saying this is where we're going to start with we're going to choose where Frontier starts because we want a fetch landless format.
Just name it Arena or something. So when you play it in paper, you're playing.
I could see
Arena.
that.
And then when you log in, there's Arena and Standard.
Yeah.
Writes itself.
Draft, Arena, and Standard. There you go. Those are the three pillars of Arena.
Yeah, Wizards hired me as a game dev. Do it.
But I could totally see that because the question already is what happens to your cards you have on here after they're gone? Because Duels of the Planeswalkers every year wasn't a rotating thing, and I'm pretty sure Duels didn't. What was it called? Was it Duels? What was
it was called like Magic Origins.
Origin, whatever it was. The thing that died to kind of lead into Arena. I wouldn't be surprised if that thing didn't really get a chance to do rotation either. So it's kind of there's still that question of how a digital game of Magic besides MTGO is going to handle rotation.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm not sure how they're going to support playing because I know they are pushing for this entirely like free to play model. But
that's ridiculous.
Like, let's be real. You can't play like even if they were like, oh, you sign up, you get all the commons and uncommons from a set.
Who cares?
You're not gonna win a pro tour with just commons and uncommons.
The cool thing though, I was listening to the MTG Goldfish podcast this week, and Rich, the guy who runs the site, he was talking about how the cool thing though is they can have a ranked ladder, so you don't have to feel like the only way to achieve something at Magic is to play leagues on MTGO. Or go to like a pro tour, you can just grind the ladder.
Oh, you just play in your free time.
Yeah.
That's a killer feature right there. That's the reason I don't play MTGO, because I don't like playing on their schedule.
Well, leagues get around that.
Yeah, they sort of do, but like you can't.
What do you mean they sort of do? You log in, you go into a league, and you play.
Yeah, but you can't do like a what's it called?
I don't know.
You can't do like a pro tour qualifier. There's set.
Oh. I think it would be cool if in 5 years, one of the people who gets invited to Worlds is the top of the ladder from Arena.
That'd be really cool.
That's obviously so far away, but I guarantee someone has said that at Wizards. It's just not possible. Like, if they're going to, like, because the thing about all the previous digital games was they didn't have the rules engine. They had, let's have phases and stuff, but we know exactly what cards we are putting into this.
Like, let's not put, like, floating mana shit in Duel of the Planeswalkers.
Not at all. There's no...
Because we don't want to deal with mana pool.
Yeah, there's none of that in that game. Yeah. And it works for what it is.
Yeah,
like, it's
for
still...
a controlled product.
I wish we had more time these days to go back and, like, do a video of us playing one of the old Duels of the Planeswalkers games. Because they had cool decks in there. But again, it was, here's 100 cards that count for this deck, they all work together in ways we know how they interact.
Yeah.
This has the rules engine. This is going to receive new sets. Now, the weird thing is this going to launch? Like, the question is, in my mind, because Ixalan cards are in there. So this is now inherently tied to Ixalan and when Ixalan is going to rotate.
Yeah.
Because doesn't Ixalan rotate next year with Kaladesh? Or no?
No. Kaladesh and Amonkhet are together. This one is going to rotate
in 2 years?
It goes back to the original system. Fall sets rotate 2 years after.
Okay. So they have 2 years, but they're not even planning on releasing for about 2 years. So
is that what they were planning on it?
They're certainly not. They're certainly not releasing next year. That's not even a question in my mind. There's no way they can release next year.
You don't think they could get a couple sets in by like Christmas of next year?
Well, the question is, how long do they want to beta like Hearthstone? Beta hasn't even started yet.
Yeah, you're right.
Did you see that letter on the subreddit where people were like, where it was a message to store owners? If you go to the pre-release of Ixalan, you get like priority for the beta.
Oh yeah.
Even more reason to come next week.
I mean, it sounds like it's happening.
I mean, okay, so for those at home, we mentioned on the podcast the hope that Freeman and maybe Leslie and some of our other friends from back home in New Jersey would come out next weekend to that might happen. So we might have a bunch of people all crashing our store here for the pre-release next week.
As always, we usually have the chance of Luigi's family keeping away, but it sounds like we at least have 2 of us ready to go.
Yeah, you and Leslie at least sound like you're going. Although I hope you guys can leave a little earlier than you thought, because pre-release is going to be that night.
I know, but don't they also have pre-release events on Saturday?
Probably, but that's not...
We
we also got to play Commander on Saturday. That's the other thing.
I'm taking the day off before then. I don't
Freeman,
know if I can do it.
And Modern is on Saturday too.
All right, you know what? I'll see what I can do.
All right. That's fine. We'll talk about it later. But back to Arena. I signed up for the beta immediately. Did you?
No, I didn't yet.
Oh, you dude. Do it right now. What are you doing?
I've been busy.
I know, but like I took the time to sign up as soon as I saw the page on my computer. As soon as I wasn't on my phone, I immediately went for it. Huh?
Yeah, I'm saying you immediately signed up.
Oh, yeah, I did. And you can even enter your DCI number, which I wouldn't be surprised if that's how they give priority access.
Oh, man, I gotta go dig that up. I don't remember what mine is.
I still have the card in my wallet. Actually, we might actually... I don't know. For a pre-release, do you have to have a DCI?
I think you do. I used to just always go to the same store, so I never remembered mine. But I know where my card is, so I'll pull it out.
That would mean if you and Leslie and possibly Luigi are coming next week, they will need DCI numbers so that we can pre-sign up for the pre-release, because there's no... Like, Hour of Devastation filled up basically night of. Like, we walked into the store about an hour early for the pre-release, and there was, like, 1 spot. Ixalan, like, we were going to go today, but then I realized we don't know. We need to nail down who's coming so that we can also sign those people up.
All right, so I got to go dig mine up ASAP.
Like, so, even if we... Like, I'm going to the store... Okay, so I'm going to the store for Commander tomorrow, obviously. Yeah. So, when I go, I'm going to ask them, hey, can I register 4 spots and just give you DCI? Like, we have 2 people coming from out of state who don't have DCI numbers. Can we just pay for the spots and they'll just do it later? Like, I want to I'm going to deal with it tomorrow, but...
All right. If I can get my DCI number to you, just give them that.
I mean, it doesn't really matter though, because Leslie doesn't have one.
Oh, she doesn't have one?
Of course she doesn't. Me and Val didn't have one.
Oh, for real? Oh, damn.
Yeah, we didn't have any until we came out here and actually went to the first pre-release and signed up for them. So that's why I'm going to be like, look, can I pay for spots? Yeah. But anyway. But yeah, Arena looks... we got so off topic. Arena looks really cool. They have...
It's a Magic podcast. It's not off topic.
Yeah, that's true. What's it called? Why am my brain's not working? Oh, they look to have very Hearthstone-y animations, which is cool. I remember seeing the screenshot of playing a T-Rex card, and the T-Rex comes roaring up out of the card and goes back down.
They did announce for select cards there would be animations.
Probably some rares and all mythics. And the Planeswalkers have voiceovers.
All the story cards are definitely going to have animations.
Definitely. But also all the Planeswalkers have voiceovers.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yes.
That's really cool.
I didn't hear it, but that is what I read on the subreddit, which is is neat.
I'm hoping they just get like consistent voice actors for the characters.
That's the question. Really cool. Is Chandra going to sound different every single card?
Oh my god, that'd be terrible.
That'd be fucking awful.
The only problem is if they go and they give like Jason an annoying voice, we have to hear that voice for like the rest of time.
You know what's really funny? If they're working on the Magic the Gathering movie, are they so far along that they have named actors and those actors are going to play the cards, or are we already going to have a disconnect there?
I guarantee there's going to be a disconnect.
I'm positive. Yeah. But, yeah, so Arena looks cool. We saw it. Apparently people played it at HasCon. The professor did a video on it, which was very funny, actually.
Oh, I didn't see that one yet.
Yeah, it's how to intentionally screw up Arena. It was basically him doing satire and being like, look at how terrible this is. We can make this the worst thing ever. But yeah, Arena looks cool. I can't wait for the beta. Hopefully we both get in and we can make videos playing against each other. That'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll definitely sink some money in, especially if they also start implementing they mentioned in the letter that was posted on Reddit, they might be looking to do the Pokemon thing of possibly having a way to redeem cards online when you buy a pack.
Oh man, if they did that, I'd just start ripping boxes.
Sealed
release.
would become important again. I legitimately think that kind of thing, like their thought process is people are buying less and less sealed because people just want singles. And how do you reverse that? You find a reason for people to buy sealed. What's better than getting double value out of your sealed anyway? Like, and people want to play online in Arena. Well, here's a code in Arena to get those Ixalan cards you just opened, and look at that sick animation of the card you're holding in your hand. Like, it's just...
Yeah, that was the one thing I remember when MTGO came out, people were complaining. They're like, oh, why don't they implement some system where you just buy them there? And the problem was, and this is a big problem for Hasbro, was if they started making some MTGO cards free if you just bought paper cards, that was a cut to their current revenue system. Whereas with this one, they can design it and say, you know, this is something we're going to assume is it's going to incentivize player to buy packs in the first place, and that's the way we make our money. And,
like,
know,
I feel like
you
if
pitch
you...
that to investors, they buy it.
Like, you not everyone's going to be redeeming. There's still going to be plenty of people who are just... people aren't going to stop buying sealed because of this, but you're going to get a lot more people buying sealed because of it, and you're going to be drawing a lot of people online where they're probably going to spend more money because it's so easy to just spend money online.
Yeah.
Plus, if you get someone online to MTGO, they start playing Modern and Legacy because they're more interested in Eternal formats, and then you get Commander going, and then you sell the Commander products. Like, it's just some game for them, probably.
Yeah. Also, the fact that they don't do like full set redemption like MTGO means they don't have to worry about giving out free cards equating to like actual value in the real world. So they can give out as many free cards they want in this game, and it won't impact like
that redemption thing is nuts to me.
It's
the fact that if you collect an entire set of cards on MTGO from every card in a set, you can redeem them to Wizards, and Wizards will send you that entire set in paper.
I think you need 4 of each card, and they send you 1 of each in person. But still,
that's insane.
I know, it's ridiculous.
That's terrible. All right. Anyway, we don't know enough, and I don't want us to
speculate too hard.
Yeah. Oh, son of a bitch! Remember that thing we talked the gift box?
Yeah.
I had the page open and I clicked on 5 premium basic lands by artist Mark Poole, known as the Shooting Star lands. Those are the basic lands from Commander last year.
Really?
Those are his basics from Commander last year. They look beautiful. I'm looking at them right now, but that's not new. That's just shiny versions of stuff he drew over like for Commander last year. And they even fucking reprinted those in Commander this year. Did you know that?
The most low effort printing for a holiday product.
Well, like, it's crazy to me that they didn't... I mean, I know people loved the artworks from last year because they got Mark Poole, Rebecca Guay, and Kev Walker to do sick-ass lands for Commander last year.
I'm just waiting for that Rebecca Guay forest to come out in foil.
Exactly!
Bright and green.
You know how much more money, many more of these gift packs they would have sold if there was 3 different types of gift pack, one with each of the commanders?
Oh my god, then you have people buying all of them.
Rebecca, Mark, Rebecca, Mark, and Kev. No, you know what? Kev Walker did that planes with the face in the side of it on the little cutout.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that one? Like the buried... that one... People still talk about that one on the subreddit. I saw people call it the face planes.
The face planes.
Anyway, second topic. Iconic Masters.
Oh man, this was interesting.
So, me and Freeman were both glued to our phones, I'm sure.
Oh my god.
Last weekend when HasCon was happening and the Iconic Masters drafts started happening at HasCon. And people started posting pictures of what was in the set, and it is insane what is in this set. Although, to be fair, it's basically a Modern Masters set with some, like, vintage restricted cards in it.
like not so Modern Masters.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, but... Oh, excuse me.
All I remember was going through, and there was someone posted a picture of like a Thoughtseize, and in the background, someone sees like a foil lightning helix, and everyone's flipping out about the foil in the background. Like, I never thought I'd see the day that like crap like that was sneaking its way onto Reddit.
That's fucking hilarious, dude. But yeah, there's some really cool stuff, and for me, the most important thing is the new artworks in this set are just like I don't think any of them are bad. Like the Auriok Champion looks fucking cool.
That does look great. I finally got my foils for less than 50.
The new commands all have these sick robe-wearing people that are like actually are any of the hold on now I'm bothering myself.
All I know.
Oh, only austere and cryptic. Shit.
The lighting on the commands looks so good in this art. Like
the austere and the cryptic.
Yeah, they look great.
If I didn't already have the full art cryptic going into Kess, I'd probably get one of these.
I don't know. Someone who plays white in like every commander deck, I'm just gonna pick up those.
Those austeres though are hot. Yeah. But the set looks really impressive. It's not perfect. I don't think a set ever would be, but there's a lot of value in here and a lot of new art. Like I said, looks really good. The Sarah Ascendant, the Restoration Angel.
There were a lot of strategic reprints in here.
Yes.
And that was the one thing that stuck out to me is like, this is Wizards saying like, we want Magic to stay affordable. Here are cards that are just like, they may not be like, you know, your tier 1 Tarmogoyf kind of things, but like these are cards that are played in a lot of random decks here and there and keep Magic interesting. Like keeping Restoration Angel under $10 is a pretty solid endeavor.
Big deal. Archangel of Thune is another huge one. That card's been really climbing. Avacyn, Angel of Hope, can't get enough reprints because of how popular she is in Commander. I feel like the Masters sets are a sign that Wizards is like, man, dude,
like we're
Commander is insane. I think Wizards has to, at this point, be like... See, the amazing... Okay, so the amazing thing about Commander is Commander keeps all of Magic alive. Like,
yeah,
you can't...
Essentially...
We'll talk about it in Ixalan, but if you look at Ixalan, half of those cards are playable in Commander in some way.
Hell yeah. Especially considering the last theme they put out with Commander 2017 of being tribal.
Yeah, and then a tribal set. Like, they knew. Yeah. They knew. They did this on purpose. Like, hell, the white vampires are in this, and they just put out a set with some of the first... with Mardu vampires. Fuck, get out of here.
Perfect cohesion.
But there's some really, really mean... Well, I'm just scrolling through the list. I don't know about you, but like I said, like Freeman said, there's a lot of important cards here that are just mainstays that never are too expensive, but Wizards recognizes how important it is. Like another Swords to Plowshares reprint. Every set that's not modern is going to get that. One of the really cool reprints is the legendary Dragon Spirit cycle from Kamigawa. All got new artwork, and they are all fucking so
nice.
More
importantly, they got downshifted back to rare. This is one thing that everyone was pissed off about in Modern Masters 1 is that the dragons are cool, but they're not necessarily that powerful, and they don't ruin limited. So people were really upset they were tying up the mythic slots. So Wizards is like, you know what? We hear you. These are good cards. They're not that good. Put them at rare. You'll get 5 more mythics in the set.
Yep.
And they're listening. I like this. They're doing what players want.
No, it's as much as everyone likes the memes of Wizards ignoring them. It's kind of funny because I also play League, and Riot is doing a lot of the same things of killing the memes. Wizards does seem to be trying and seem to be listening, which is really cool. And seeing cheeky things like Wing Shards getting a reprint, a Storm card.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the fact that they hate Storm, but they're like, we'll throw a Storm card in there because we know people fucking love Storm. Like, what else? Ancestral Vision got really cool new art. I wish...
John Avon did it?
Yeah, I love the idea. I don't know if I love the execution so much. I kind of still like the original.
The art itself is good, but like the theme he's trying to convey of looking into the past of a decaying city, it's almost like there's not enough contrast. I almost couldn't.
Yeah, well, I actually feel like this is funny because I love the super detailed artwork, but for some reason, the fact that everything is so small kind of makes it not. It's like the art only really exists within the dot. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then the outside is just really some color. I feel like he would need a bigger medium for this to really work.
Yeah, when he posted this full painting version, it looked beautiful.
Yeah.
The problem is it's so small on the card you can't see that level of detail.
Am I crazy or is that new Condescend artwork? I don't love it, but it's okay. I don't love it.
I look through here and I'm like, oh man, my entire counterspell suite from Mono Blue Tron got reprinted.
I don't love Condescend. It's very, very basic. It's like, oh, blue spell guy. The new Cryptic Command is so hot. Flusterstorm reprint. One of the sleeper hits of this whole thing. Like, Flusterstorm is monstrously expensive because it's so good in Legacy and Vintage, and it was only printed in that Commander set that was barely printed.
Set that was still, relatively underprinted.
Yeah.
Compared to the modern Commander.
They're all underprinted except for this year's for whatever fucking reason.
Back up. I don't know what's been going on with Wizards, but last year the 4-color Commanders got one print run, all sold out, and Wizards like, nah, we don't want to print any more money. No, go pay $150 for your
free money.
And they're like, nah. They're like, all right, fine. People want more dragons. I guess we'll print another.
People want more dragons, and they want more vampires.
I don't understand what Wizards is doing. Like when Commander 2013 had Mind Seize with True Name Nemesis in it.
Yep.
They were printing that thing for like another year because they couldn't figure out how to distribute the decks properly. They had 2 years to sign this one print run. You're done.
Freeman, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret here. I just went to EDH Rec again because I do that every day, every few hours. I am looking at all time this week, this month, and forever.
It's the tracks.
If I can tell, if I'm checking, okay, only the worst by far 4-color deck, Saskia. Unfortunately, she didn't turn out great. Every other 4-color commander is in the top of all time, and Atraxa is number 1 by over 1,000 decks, and Brea is behind Marin by 13.
Oh my goodness.
Then you go Olero, Nekusar, Yidris, above Kalia, Alesha, Sidisi, Prosh, and Brago, and then you get to K&T, and then you get to Derevi. They're above all of that.
People like playing with a lot of colors.
They do. It's crazy. But this month, same thing. Atraxa, Marin, Brea. Edgar is 7th. And Yidris is up there as number 10.
Damn.
And K&T are the last ones.
Wizards, do you hear this? Print more Commander decks.
Let's see. This week. Who's on this week? Atraxa, number 3, only behind Dragon and Edgar.
Makes sense.
Then K&T are the next ones after a whole bunch. And then immediately behind them is Brea by 1 deck. And then Yidris is on there, the last one. How did you not reprint this?
I don't know what the fuck they were thinking.
Freeman, I've said to you before, I would love to build one Atraxa deck someday, but that's probably not going to happen. I would build 3 Brea decks in a heartbeat if I had the money. Just totally different Brea decks.
Yeah, you can totally do that.
That's just fucking stupid. It's frustrating.
I just want to put Atraxa's a $20 card right now.
She? Oh my god.
Fucking pissing me
Hold
off.
on. Okay, TCG player. Commander 2016. How much are these decks on all 5 is $260 for the cheapest one.
Jeez,
that's with $20 shipping. $280 with free shipping. You know how much all of them are this year? They're like $150 on Amazon, not even TCG.
Damn.
Brea, oh my god, Freeman, do you see this? Brea is $120 unopened.
Jeez, I wonder how much it actually costs to put it together yourself.
Oh, not Brea. I'm sorry, Atraxa. Brea is $70 unopened.
Okay, that's more reasonable, but still, it's unreasonable.
What the fuck? Atraxa's market price is $100 according to TCG Player.
Just the Commander alone. Brea is a $3 card. Atraxa is almost $20.
It's insane.
Believe me,
I fucking love Brea.
Of course I know you play Brea.
But yeah, Atraxa is... I mean, she's the commander who literally does anything. This is what happens when you make a product for people. This just goes to show, okay, this year isn't as successful, but Wizards clearly is understanding the commander format. They are clearly getting it and how popular it is. Because look at how many cards these days are printed with each opponent instead of just target opponent.
They're highly aware of the appeal of multiplayer formats, namely Commander.
Yeah, it's only, and that's the thing. Commander is the one format that is guaranteed to grow as Magic goes on. Standard can grow, but it's never going to grow in card pool. Modern is super expensive, not prohibitively for everybody, especially if you go with one of the more budget decks, but Modern is also a lot of metagame. And then Legacy and Vintage are crazy. Commander appeals to the casual person who just says, I want to build my fun, goofy card deck and just play it for fun. And even if you get blown out, unless you get epically blown out at a store, someone else at the table is probably also doing the same thing as you, and you're just having fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing. Commander is such a good format. Like, there's a reason I go spend 6 hours at my store every Saturday just playing Commander, because I fucking love it. The spread of decks, you can't play a game of Commander without seeing a card you've never seen before.
Oh my god, I love it and hate it.
It's the new drug for me for Magic. Like, there's a reason I'm building this Kess deck as fast as possible, because I look at it and I'm like, I love all these cards. They're so cool. But anyway, we've gotten way away from.
Way off topic.
So back to Iconic Masters.
Yeah, tons of solid reprints. I'm happy all around. There are a ton of cards here I was waiting to see reprint just to see the price go down.
So the other reason I'm building this Kess deck, for those of you at home, one of the mythics that was spoiled for Iconic Masters is a card that is not legal outside of. Is it legal in Legacy? I think it is.
No, I don't think so.
It's banned?
It's probably is.
Jesus.
I've never played against it before.
A card only legal in Vintage that's also legal in Commander.
Banned in Legacy.
Probably best counterspell ever printed other than Force of Will, because Force of Will kind of breaks the rules. The best actual spell, counterspell, Mana Drain. Blue, counter target spell. At the beginning of your next main phase, add an amount of colorless mana equal to that spell's converted mana cost. The artwork on this card is so drop-dead gorgeous. I can't handle it. I am going to spend over $100 on a copy of this card. Going to try to resist buying a foil and probably fail. Which will probably be like $180.
So pretty.
Freeman. I can't imagine how good it's gonna look. Like, it's so this is going in my Kess deck when it finally comes out. I was gonna wait for this card, but now I just want to build Kess and then slot it in later. This is one of those cards like the Inventions. I just have to have it. Like, I don't care. It's so hot.
It really is.
But that's one of those few cards in this set that's like, this is not for Modern. This is for Commander players and people to collect, really.
I couldn't believe when I saw this on the list. Like, I'm looking through them, and my coworker's like, what are you doing? I'm like, dude, new Magic shit's getting announced. It's great. And he goes, how good is it? And I pull up Mana Drain.
He's like...
I drop my phone, and I look at him. And he doesn't know shit. I'm like, dude, Mana Drain's in the set. He goes, I don't know what that means. I'm like, you don't need to know what it means. It's Mana Drain.
So this is so appropriate because when we built our custom Commander decks, we put Mana Drain in my deck. And now it's getting like the sickest. Just those of you at home, look up the Mana Drain iconic art. I want to go on eBay and see what that one foil that was for sale is up to now. Because people were selling a handful of these after, like only a handful after HasCon. And there was one foil that was for sale. It's still at 187.
I wonder if it's gonna go higher.
There is also one that is only 87, but there are 21 bids on it.
Ooh, it's just a lot of eyes.
Friedman.
I guarantee you, the last day that's gonna spike by at least 100.
Freeman, live on air. I'm gonna put a bid on this Mana Drain foil.
No, we spent all of last night convincing someone not to make a purchase. I can do it.
Freeman, unlike her, I have disposable income, and I am a real adult. I am putting a $200 bid on this fucking thing.
No, but credit cards are fake money.
Val just heard me. My current bid is 192.49.
Oh man.
I'm not even kidding. And I'm kidding. Val can hear me. But anyway. Yeah, so there's we don't need to go through it all, or I'm just gonna fly through and see if there's any other cool artwork.
No, the one thing I remember everyone was concerned about when they saw all the stuff in Iconic Masters is now everyone's concerned what the hell is going to be in
Masters 25.
Masters 25. But I know Wizards has said there's going to be one card from every set of Magic in Masters 25,
which is cool.
Which is cool, but I don't know what they're going to do with that. Like, how do you make a cohesive draft format when you try to like find cards from? I mean, I guess you can find like vanilla cards from weird sets. Like,
oh yeah.
There's no way they want to put anything from Kamigawa in there.
Oop, I am sorry that people just heard that noise. My computer's made a noise and it got recorded.
Oh.
That's okay. It's not stopping the recording or anything. I was checking on my eBay bid. Anyway. But yeah, Iconic Masters looks sick. I wouldn't be surprised if we try to buy a box someday. Maybe around the holidays.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Because this looks like super fun to draft, and just like Modern Masters, there's tons of value in here. The only thing that sucks is opening a channel is worthless.
It kind of is. But,
because it's restricted. Like, why did you... Okay, so for those at home, sorry. Channel is green, pay 1 life, sorcery. Until end of turn, pay a life, get a colorless mana. Obviously, that's insane. You're turning your life into mana. That card is restricted in Vintage and banned in every other format, including Commander. Like, it's a sick card, but it's only, I think it's like 50 cents because you can't play it. Even Vintage doesn't want it that much.
No, like, you don't, like, even though you can go all in on the combo, you don't want...
There's so many better things in Vintage, is the thing.
Yeah.
Dude, even... Oh, so before we... Sorry, I know he keeps threatening to go to another topic, but... looking around, a few of the cool multicolored cards that got reprinted. Bladewing the Risen, cool zombie dragon that hadn't been printed in a long time with new art that's really cool. Firemane Angel is a bay of mine. Knight of the Reliquary is one of those sleeper cards that's sick that they reprinted.
Oh, that's really good. It was creeping up in price. It's one of those fun build-around cards.
Exactly. Like we were saying, Lightning Helix, Supreme Verdict. I'm sure that was going up.
Yo, I was actually getting worried about that because there were less and less listings of Supreme Verdict all the time, and I was getting concerned because I jam that in like every deck I own.
Yeah, it's a sick card. Aether Vial, always a good thing to reprint. The big colorless one though, Mishra's Bauble.
Oh my god, this is Wizards going, let's slot this shitty artifact in to deal with these awful prices.
Yeah, that's here's a card that we barely printed way back when that's suddenly getting really popular in Modern, and we just missed it for Modern Masters earlier this year.
Yeah.
So they're like, get it in there!
It's like, jam it in. It doesn't do anything. It draws a card.
Also, the one land that really matters. There's some good lands in here, but the land that really matters...
I'd say the 2 lands that matter.
You know what the first one is. What's the second one?
Grove of the Burn Willows.
Really? Why?
Because that has always been 50 plus for that.
Really?
Yeah, because it's a staple, or at least it was a staple of Green Red Tron. Like when Green Red Tron
was wait, in Modern?
Pushing 70 in Modern, yeah.
Oh shit! I only ever knew of it as playable in Legacy for punishing for Oathfire. No, that's Vintage.
When I first saw Tron, I'm like, this deck is great, I want it. And then I saw it grows, I'm like, fuck, I don't want to throw it on 200.
Oh wow, okay, so that makes sense. So, but either way, the top land, Horizon Canopy.
Hands down.
No question. That card is very expensive. It was only ever printed in Future Sight. I own one for my Sigarda EDH deck.
Yeah, someone who plays a lot of green-white, I've been dying to see this card reprinted.
Yeah, that and it's... I don't love the new art, but it should hopefully drive the price of the older one down because that's a new one. It's not one of those collector's printings as much, although it's Future Sight. Who knows?
No,
either way, you won't complain about
the
this.
working players who they just need something functional.
But overall, I know he kept saying it, but Iconic Masters is a pretty solid slam dunk. I'm very excited to see it in November. So it just sucks that they did the thing where they don't complete a cycle every time. They did print all the Praetors. Again, another thing for Commander, the Praetors.
Oh yeah.
Except Urabrask, almost every single one of them sees heavy Commander play.
Did they? They didn't have them in Modern Masters 2, did they?
Don't think so.
Or 3, whatever the most recent one was.
Let's check.
Because that covered New Phyrexia.
Yep.
Or no. Oh,
nope,
shit,
it was.
No, Modern Masters 2 had New Phyrexia because they had...
It was in Modern Masters 2015 is where they were. So it's been a few years.
So it's been enough time that their price has gone up because Commander's growing insanely fast.
But also, again, yeah, like you said, they are one of those, specifically Elish Norn and Shieldred especially.
Yeah.
Those two are... Shieldred's in every single black deck as a win condition. Elish Norn is also in most white decks that have a combo or something like that, or even just value.
Yeah.
Just like white is so loaded with mythics. Archangel Thune, Avacyn of Hope, and Elish Norn. Those are the 3 white mythics. That
Value Town mythics.
It would be hard to argue. You can't you can't argue any one of those on that list. Like usually you can be like, look at this shitty mythic. Like Kiki Jiki for red. He probably didn't need to be a mythic again. He probably didn't need to be in there again.
He's probably the worst one on there, but at the same time, Kiki Jiki's not a bad card.
No.
Especially even if you're drafting. Kiki Jiki's a great card to pull.
Oh, yeah. In draft, sure.
Yeah.
But, like, the Praetors, though, like, Jin Gitaxias sees a lot of play in blue decks that are super control-y, sort of more combo-y blue decks.
Everyone out.
Yeah, like any deck that runs blue and has reanimation probably runs a Jin Gitaxias, especially in competitive EDH, I know. Shieldred, like I said. Green. What's his face? Vorinclex. Again, any big green deck.
Spicy.
Yeah. It's like everything except Urabrask, they're in the top 100 legendary cards for Commander. It's just that's what they are because they're so cool. And to see them reprinted here is just awesome. Anyway, we've been going for a while.
Yeah.
Let's go to our final topic.
And the main event.
The main event, Ixalan.
It seems like every time something big with Ixalan happens, we have to make a Magic episode now.
Yeah, the leak was the whole reason for the first ever special.
Yeah. And the official leak, aka the card gallery release.
But here we are. Ixalan has finally been fully spoiled, and man, oh man, does this set look pretty damn sweet.
I have not seen the community so optimistic for a standard set in a long time now.
I mean, I was hyped. I was more hyped for Kaladesh because Kaladesh is my bae.
Yeah.
But this set looks really cool. It's actually kind of funny that the Jace is kind of disappointing out of like the super impressive set, but the Jace card kind of blows. But this set has me excited.
Everyone's saying this is what not battle what Battle for Zendikar.
Battle for Zendikar, yeah. The Explore place.
Yeah. I'm excited for this.
Yeah,
I'm. What you want to talk about first, but
I guess let's talk about. I think Mythic Spoiler has everything in a row now. Yeah, they finally do. Let's talk about the Mythics across the board because that's a good idea of how it sets doing.
So I gotta go to.
I mean, I like Mythic Spoiler because it just has a nice, easy. Once they finally finish spoiling and then they actually arrange everything, it looks great.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. The Mythics are actually kind of disappointing.
So I think part of this had to do with Wizards realizing people were getting mad that
all the power level was in Wizards.
And they're like, we can't just make all the Mythics really good. The Mythics need to be like, too good for draft, but not like a mandatory 4 of in every standard deck.
Yep.
And this is them kind of doing that because a lot of your power is rare and even uncommon in the set.
Yep, for sure.
So, it is kind of shitty when you pull, a Mythic that isn't really playable anywhere, but like a lot of these Mythics are pretty cool.
They're cool. So the thing of it is, they're cool designs that are not amazing. Like, looking at the Mythics for monocolor at least, actually green only has 1 Mythic.
For real?
They only have the Carnage Tyrant.
Yeah, that's right.
And all he is an uncounterable trample hexproof big dino for 6, which is good, but that's nothing crazy.
All right, fuck that guy. So he is a better version of one of my favorite cards, Sagumauler, And Saggy
Oh,
has me 2 colors for the same shit, but 1 less power, but some retarded morph stuff in the middle.
Would you, if you were still playing that deck right now, would you swap it out?
I would swap it out in a heartbeat.
He's now that I think about it, he's maybe a Selvala target. Because he's a nice little sticky guy that can provide a bunch of mana for her. But anyway, out of the monocolored mythics, the only ones that are actually going to be playable in limited are Jace.
Yeah.
And the Dire Fleet Ravager, the black mythic. The second black mythic.
Rowdy Crew's not awful.
Rowdy Crew is pretty crappy. You're going to feel fucking bad if that's your mythic pull.
Oh shit, I didn't read the random part. Fuck.
Yeah.
If Wizards has to put the word random on a card, just that...
Outside of Gamble.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, randomness is what kills cards, and Rowdy Crew's a great design. You can see why it's a mythic, because it's a cool design.
Yeah.
But it also blows.
It does kind of suck.
It's a 3/3 trample that can potentially throw away 2 fucking great cards.
But then it might be a 5/5.
It's not gonna be that. Unless you're in limited and you do an all creature deck. But anyway. The blue sorcery mythic is... God.
The problem is...
Who is this for?
Every time I look at a card that's just draw cards, I'm like, huh, can I put it in my Mystics deck? And then I sat there and I'm like, I don't want this anywhere near my Mystics deck. Dude, I'm building Kess right now. Fuck this card. Yeah, you already need 3 colored mana, and it's just like a straight up 1/1, 7 mana, draw 7 cards.
Hey Freeman, guess what I can play for 3 mana less and still 3 blue?
What?
You should be able to guess this. This isn't a surprise. No. For 3 blue and 1. What could I play?
Cryptic Command.
Oh, wow. 10,000 times better in Commander, Cryptic Command.
Yeah.
Like...
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If you get to the point in a game in Ixalan Limited, which I don't think you are going to,
with 7 mana,
you have 7 open mana and 3 of them are blue,
and you're playing a sorcery. Oh.
If you cast this during your main phase, you're in a better position. But it's really not that.
You really need to be okay. That either means you're losing and desperate, but you can somehow survive a turn and pray, or you're winning and you should just win without 7 more cards.
Yeah.
Like, that... At least the Carnage Tyrant is good in limited. The Boneyard Parlay is crap in limited. I can't see that card being very good.
I'm... Honestly, now that I look at it, I'm not really sure what they're going for with the mythics in this set.
It's the black one is great. The Dire Fleet Ravager.
Oh, the Menace Death Touch, dude.
Yeah.
Is cool.
The Dinosaur one is... okay, but that's late game. Axis of Mortality is useless in limited.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what part of it is? So Morrow said on his Tumblr, I don't know if you saw this. You're less likely to get a mythic in this set because of the rare double face.
Yeah, in order to account for how many there are, they had to double the number of rare slots.
They had to increase it by 20.
Yeah, they increased by 20.
Or 10 or whatever, but either way, it led to like a 20-pack difference in how often you open a mythic.
I mean, honestly, at this point, it's perfectly fine because I don't want.
I want more of the rares. But Star of Extinction's cool, but crappy in limited again. Jace is actually probably the best mythic in limited. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, Planeswalkers usually are amazing if you manage.
Of course.
I always hate playing against an opponent who pulled them. I'm like, oh, congrats, you pulled the win.
You pulled the free win. Yeah. Going down to the multicolor mythics, though, they're a lot more exciting. Not great, though. Vraska is probably the limited all-star. Vraska is just crazy good.
She's going to see constructed play.
Probably not.
She's not awful.
What deck wants her?
I don't know.
Well, I guess a lot of decks wouldn't mind her, but the other problem is she makes pirates and she's green.
Oh, shit.
Like, they kept her in theme, which is fine, but, like, you're making her make pirates in a set where the pirates are Grixis, not Golgari.
I mean, the making tokens is the green aspect of it. The black. I guess,
Sure, but
I
like,
don't know. You can explain it away, but
I
at the
wish
same
they could.
time,
What if they had been like zombie pirates or something? I don't know. She's a bomb. Huatli,
Wizards proving they still don't know what the fuck they should do with the Boros commander
outside of Nahiri.
Okay, yeah, Nahiri's the exception.
Nahiri's the one good Boros planeswalker that we're ever gonna have because, well, look, Huatli makes tokens. She does a worse impression of the Gideon that's rotating out from Battle for Zendikar. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, Mardu Vehicles found their new token making planeswalker." No, they fucking didn't. Unlike, he pressured the board hard. She doesn't pressure the board. Anyway,
Hold on, real quick. So when Gideon and did they even play Sorin at all?
One of usually top end.
All right, because they're both rotating out. I'm trying to think, would they just rotate whatever color scheme they are and jam the planeswalkers in those colors?
I would like to point out, live update, Val can now breathe easily. I have been outbid already for the mana drain up to 202, and I am not bidding again.
I'm not even gonna hide it. I'm not surprised that this happened.
I'm not either, but I'm glad to know that I pushed it up.
Stirred the pot.
I get the feeling that someone set to or is 250 the minimum increase on eBay? I don't think so.
I thought 99 cents was. I don't know.
So that means someone probably went for 202.50 knowing that I had put in 200. But anyway, back to the thing. The black-white vampire. Now that's a limited card.
Pay 7 life Vindicate.
That is a sick card.
It's honestly not that bad, especially if you're in white and you're playing up like the life gain kind of game plan. You can afford to throw away 7 life.
But even just a 4/4 Vigilance Lifelink for 5 is not bad in limited.
Oh yeah, no, just those stats alone are honestly fine.
Admiral Beckett Brass, the Grixis. It's funny because you can see the commanders as these next 3 cards
like
actually.
They just jammed them in there.
I feel like Beckett Brass is actually only really good in limited. I feel like Commander's not going to be kind to the Admiral.
No, I don't. Like, when do you ever... Like, unless you're doing really well, you're not going to deal damage
When
to
are you
going to
have 3 pirates get through in Commander?
In fucking Grixis
with
colors.
With this out?
No.
Like, it's cool, but man, it's disappointing.
It does count itself in the pirate count. But
so what? It's a 3/3 vanilla for 4.
You are absolutely
It's so
right.
behind the curve. And, like, in command, it sucks because you know that they built that card to be possible for Commander. But even in limited, it's not going to do that good.
This is going to end up being one of those like casual Commander cards because of how budget it is.
Yeah, it'll be someone who wants to build pirate tribal and just force it, which is fine because I've done stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now the actual playable Commander card.
This one.
Gishath Sun's Avatar. Gishath.
Legendary creature, dinosaur avatar.
Instant Leslie's Naya dinosaur. She went from dragons to dinos.
I showed her the Marith combo to maybe like convince her not to play that.
She's
dude,
not.
And she's just like,
dude,
Marith is going in the deck.
But this card is sick. Trample, Vigilance, Haste, 7/6 for 8 mana, which is a lot, but it's Naya colors, which ramps like crazy. Whenever it deals damage to a player, reveal that many cards from the top of your library, put any number of dinosaurs from them onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom in a random order.
God, Trample makes that effect so much better.
It's not even that good of a card in Commander because it's an 8-drop Commander, which almost never actually do well. Actually, honestly, there's much better 8-drop Commanders like Avis and Angel of Hope. But for the flavor win, this is so cool.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The keywords they gave it make it so much better. If it didn't have Trample and Haste, this would be a garbage commander. The fact that
the Vigilance doesn't really matter that much, but it's still sick.
The fact that on turn 8, and it's not gonna be turn 8 because you're in green, so on turn 7 or 6, you play this and it immediately does something.
Yep.
You're almost always gonna value the turn.
Someone has to have instant speed, counterspell, or removal, or this gets free dinos, hopefully.
Which is like the number one thing I hate about most of my commanders, that they don't do anything the turn they come down, and the next turn I'm like,
now,
please love a god, don't kill my commander.
The one shitty thing is so many of all of the dinosaurs in this set, the board wipe has a cast from hand trigger, which sucks.
Yeah.
And a lot of them have combat tricks, which you don't get because of this.
You are right.
Which sucks, but it's still flavorful.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
this...
we do still have another set in
No, absolutely. And
Block. We're gonna see more dinosaurs.
The other thing is you can take all the tribal cards from this, like the what is it? The 5-drop artifact that where's the name of the stupid thing?
The one from this set where if you play a creature type, you draw a
Vanquisher's
card,
Banner.
Yeah.
+1/+1, cast a creature spell of the chosen type, draw a card. Easy peasy to make any excuse me, any tribe with any support between this year's commander decks, like the
card was
land.
Ancestors Path, the
Path
land
of
where
Ancestry.
you scry.
Yeah, it's scry every time. It's going, dude, it's in my Kess deck now, just because, like, there's 3 wizards in her. Sure, I'll take a tapped command tower that sometimes scries. Absolutely. Like, tapped lands are mostly shitty, but we also don't play super we're not that competitive.
Yeah, I'm that guy who runs all 10 tap lands and is
I'm not gonna lie, I've been getting more competitive as I play at my shop. But at the same time, I'm also not so competitive that I'm gonna buy beta duels. I'm certainly not gonna do that. So I'm gonna go with some budget stuff. Like, I'm gonna go with that crypt card from Hour.
Like how our like mark for knowing you're competitive is you went and you bought beta duels and not unlimited.
Dude, the guy who was playing... Oh, so I don't know if I told you this. So I think I might have mentioned there's a guy who plays just a Prosh deck every week at our store.
Yeah.
And he has food chain and all that stuff, and basic and betas and all this crazy stuff. He said he took apart Prosh because he went to a convention over Labor Day weekend and got focused down after he won his first game with food chain, and he took it apart because he was so tired of people focusing him.
Oh my god.
Which, I mean, duh. What do you expect? So
yeah.
he built a Mael deck.
I thought you were about to say Marath. I'm like, that's not what
No.
you want to do if you don't want to be the target on the board.
But almost done. And then the final legendary mythic. Another disappointing commander card.
Blue-green Merfolk.
Blue-green Merfolk. Power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in your hands. You have no maximum hand size. And when it enters the battlefield, draw a card for each creature you control.
It shouldn't have been 7
For
mana.
7 mana, that does nothing. That's like running Prime Speaker Zagana as your commander. It doesn't actually accomplish anything.
No, it's...
Run a better card.
It's kind of shitty.
Again, too expensive for limited even.
As someone who loves Simic, this is just like not a card I'm ever going to play, ever.
Nope, it sucks. But anyway, but the rares... The rares for this set are nuts.
Oh, I fucking love that Hostage Taker gets leaked, and then Wizards has to errata a leaked card because they're like, oh fuck, it was infinite with itself.
For those of you at home, Hostage Taker is a human pirate that reads, if you don't know Magic, why are you even listening? It's just for fun, I guess. When it enters the battlefield, exile target artifact or creature until it leaves the battlefield. You may cast that card. So this card specifically does not say other. This card says target artifact or creature. Guess what? If this is the only creature on the battlefield, as is printed, this card will infinitely exile and unexile itself, and the game is a draw because you cannot break that action without instant speed removal. If you don't have instant speed removal, the game is a draw. Wizards, as soon as this card got leaked, is like, oh, whoops, it actually says other. Functional errata. Like, the fact that we live in this world where Wizards is missing this shit... It's scary.
It honestly is. Like, I'm afraid of where they're going to fuck up next.
Like we just had Felidar Guardian.
Like, this was a real easy to fix one. It's like, oh, let's fix a word and it's okay.
Here's the problem. Okay, Felidar Guardian was a screw-up, but that wasn't a limited screw-up. In limited, with this one card, without that errata, you could... hit an infinite board,
like
an infinite draw in limited.
Like, that was the thing. That's it. With Felidar Guardian, it was an interaction with a card from not the same set.
Yep.
This is an interaction with
This is the same card. Yeah. Oh my god. How did you miss this? Like, I get. Trust me. I had a shitty day at work. I get human error. Someone at work today, we found out that my buddy employee, who I went over to the game night a few weeks ago, he screwed up making our drawing border 11 months ago and made it too big, and now every drawing in the past year is technically wrong.
Oh my god.
Now, they're trying to find other things to resolve this, but that's a tiny error that leads to a big fuck up. Guess what? No one QC'd that. Can you imagine how many people looked at this frickin' card before this was printed? This isn't like the Monarch token having a typo. This is this card.
This is not the first time they printed this wording before. Oh no, I was looking at Banisher Priest for a second. Like, oh, it's creature and opponent controls. They've done like slight variations on this wording before, so I figured like there has to be a standard that they use.
Yeah. But it's like, come on, dude.
Or yeah, no, Fiend Hunter's example. When Fiend Hunter is battlefield, you may exile another target creature. He's like the prime example of this effect, and they didn't go with his text. Or even
it's amazing.
Like, what's the text on Oblivion Ring? It's probably the same thing.
Oblivion Ring's broken up. Well, the other thing is this is a lot easier.
Another target non-land permanent,
Yeah.
but like I'm so in shock they didn't think of to have another on there because it's almost always there.
Yeah, it is. It's really shocking. But other than that, right next to it, the Regisar Alpha is the coolest dinosaur in the set.
Oh my god, the fucking
4/4 for 5. Other dinosaurs have haste, and when it comes in, you get a 3/3 token with trample. It literally. What other alpha in the last year have we had that should have been this card?
Oh my god.
For those who don't know what I'm talking about, in Shadows of our Eldritch Moon, Ulrich, the legendary werewolf that never was good. That card should have been this.
Yeah, what if they just printed a 5-mana 4/4 werewolf, other werewolves have haste, make a 3/3 werewolf?
With trample. That's what an alpha does. An alpha is the biggest one technically. It's a 4/4, but it makes a token 3/3 that goes in and does all the heavy fighting for it. That's how an alpha works.
Salty werewolf players all around.
It's amazing. But it's a super sick card. Vehicles.
Oh,
Vehicles are fucking trash now.
Yo, I said this before, and I'll say it again. They did this in Mirrodin with equipment where they made it good.
They did.
Like,
they
oh,
did.
Fuck, we need to make it shitty again. And that's where we're at, where they're like, vehicles are fixed equipment. Nope, it's equipment part 2.
Outside of one vehicle, which I'm going to let you guess as soon as I finish what I'm going to say. There is one vehicle I'm going to put in my Depala deck. My vehicle Depala deck. Which one is it?
Is it the flip one?
Yes. Conqueror's Galleon.
Yeah.
Because that flips into the most value town land I have ever seen in my life. That land is nuts.
It really is. The one thing I want to talk about with this set is...
Yes, please do.
The flip cards, they may not all be super constructed playable.
Nope.
Oh my god, these are like the coolest flavor-wise cards I've seen.
Every single flip card is a flavor win. That is amazing. That's incredibly impressive that there is no... The closest you can come to a dud is the white and black flip enchantments.
Yeah, I think those are probably the worst.
Those are the weakest, but those are two of the most limited playable. By far.
Yeah.
But every other one, like, we have a flipping Gaia's Cradle. That's not a curse fill-in. We could flip over a land into an enchantment into a Gaia's Cradle.
A better Gaia's Cradle.
The red one isn't amazing. I actually don't really love it at all. I think red is the weakest for me.
It's honestly a little too overcosted. If they had cut down the cost to be when
one in a red
land for the ability to be red generic tap, deal 3, like because it's essentially a land itself. So if you count that as a land, right now it's 4 mana to deal 3 damage. Kind of shitty. If you brought it down to 3 mana for 3 damage, that's doable. I'd consider it.
Even worse. So the front is really good. As people point out, it's a Dragon Siege, or it's an Outpost Siege that doesn't let you play lands, which really sucks, actually. Because now a third of your deck is a dead top deck.
I mean, the commander kind of sucks, but if you're in standard and you already have 4 mana.
Oh well, yeah. In standard it's fine, but I'm not going to play this in commander.
No way.
Because the 3 damage is not high enough, and third spell a turn.
Yeah, that's not happening unless I'm playing Mizzix or some Storm variant.
Well,
I'm not
also,
passing
but here's the
3
other thing: in limited too.
spells. Yeah, that doesn't happen.
How do you play 3 spells in limited
That
when you're
doesn't
casting a thing
happen.
for 4 mana? That means you're at the point where you're just playing a 4 or 5 drop every turn, and that's the whole thing you're doing.
Yeah.
And
no.
honestly, you don't want it. What the hell? Something just made a noise. What? You don't want it to flip. Like, you're like, I'll just take the top card, please. I don't want this to flip.
Yeah.
But the green one is amazing, and the blue one is really good.
Yeah.
Not going in any of my commander decks, because everyone, like, the thing is, commander's such a trap because everyone wants to put all the cool expensive cards, and then you realize your deck doesn't work. Like, I'll show you my Kess list after we're done with the podcast real quick before we go.
Yeah.
It's not done yet, obviously, but I had to genuinely trim down on the number of just so sick expensive cards because it's like, but I can't actually afford these.
I mean, I'm not like I see a couple of these ones, and they're not one of those like slot into every commander decks, but there's like very specific ones. I saw the blue one, I'm like, oh man, this is like a Sultai Sidisi card right here. Just be able to dump shit in your yard to make the zombie tokens. Like they're
The blue enchantment?
Yeah, like these are all going to see play in at least one specific commander's deck.
Each flip enchantment, you mean?
Okay, actually, maybe not the red one. Most, all right.
Yeah, the red one. The red one is unplayable in commander because lightning bolt isn't a commander staple.
The black one I'd even consider for my Daxos deck, just because it's a cheap enchantment that lets you draw cards, and if you happen to flip it,
it's you know what?
you can
It's
save
a
if you're losing.
cheaper alternate greed, if nothing else.
Yeah,
Like, that's already a playable card.
yeah.
You probably shouldn't ever be flipping it.
If
Unless
it means I'm fucked, and I'm gonna start paying 5 mana to just gain.
or it means you have Axis of Mortality.
Oh shit!
Oh, you can stack the triggers. Have Insane Life, have opponent low, grab their life total to flip Arkells. Oh, but then you're still... Never mind. I don't fucking
Magic
know.
Christmas Land.
Yeah, no, it still sucks, though, because then you're all still almost dead.
Yeah.
Actually, honestly, that's another card you don't really want to flip. I just want to keep paying 2 life to draw cards.
Honestly.
But anyway, so all the flip cards are some degree of home run. And then all the rares, like almost every single rare, is just a cool idea.
Yeah, they are all
Like,
really.
they all, like, the red pirate that does the captivating crew. Do a dance, gain control of any creature. The counter spell that gives you treasure. The vampire that's going in my Edgar Tokens deck someday when I finally build that deck. The dinosaurs are all great. Even the shitty 3/3 for 1 for green.
Oh yeah.
Even that, it's just a cool design.
Or that, and you've got, this is the one thing everyone was flipping out about. The card Opt is now modern legal.
Oh my
From this
god. That's
Yeah.
uncommons. We're not even there yet.
Sorry, I wanted to talk about this just because we're hyping shit up.
There's just so much. Like, the 2 rare vampires are really cool to some degree. The millfish, sword point diplomacy, the red burn spell, like
the new Merfolk wizard that's basically like Cure the Great Glass Spinner. Like people are talking about
oh my god,
modern Merfolk or not. No one shut up about whether green is worth making modern Merfolk Simic and trying to slam.
It's not. Trick question.
It's not.
It's not.
Spoiler, it's not.
Spoiler: Merfolk should just stay mono blue forever.
Pretty much.
This won't change things. Revel in Riches. That's another black artifact win card that could easily go in a Brea deck. Like, now I want to build a Brea treasure deck. Brea Queen of the Pirates. Like, like I said, the dinosaurs are all cool. The only thing that sucks is the pirate mono red, Captain Lannery Storm. She kind of sucks. She's not great. But you could easily slot her in the Grixis. Pirates, it sucks that there's not enough good red pirates that it's going to be blue-black pirates pretty much for sure.
Honestly, it kind of is. Especially if it's not worth running that 1/3 color commander.
The Beckett, yeah.
You're not going to want to.
Yeah, she's not worth running, and then there's not enough good red. I mean, red has great cards, but black and blue also got great cards, so you don't need red.
Like basically all I'd want to run, and that's it. If I had to be in red.
And you don't even need that. Like in standard, that doesn't do anything.
No.
What else? But like all the rares are just neat.
Yeah.
And then, man, there's so many rares I forgot. Even Vraska's Contempt, instant speed, exile creature or planeswalker. Crazy.
It's honestly not bad.
Dude, I have it in my Kest list right now.
Like, what was that card? Utter End. That's not playing standard, but it was legal, and that was one more color to play.
Yeah, that was an extra color. Dude, like I said, again, it's in Kest.
Yeah.
Exile is also exile is so important in Commander. It's not even funny.
Actually, though,
Ashes of the Abhorrent. That's gonna be a sideboard staple somewhere. That's gonna see slotting into sideboards as soon as Ixalan comes out. Whether or not it stays there is a question, but it's gonna see play in there. Arcane Adaptation. Everything comes in as a creature type. That's gonna see play in Commander.
definitely.
In like Illusion Tribal or something. The multicolor rares are also fantastic. We also talked about the colorless ones, all the flips. The treasure map is so flavorful, even if it's not amazing. I think treasure map could have made one of any color. I think it could have.
Oh, what, on its activate ability?
Yeah, on its land side.
It probably should have.
Because the tapping for colorless isn't great, but it's such a cool card. Primal Amulet, like I said, is going in Kess. I hope one of us opens one at pre-release weekend, so the next day I can walk in with Kess, which probably isn't going to happen because I can't ship all the cards in time, but no. I want to play Kess within a month, and I'll just wait for the mana drain. The Dowsing Dagger, dude, that's going in Strom in a second.
Which one is the Dowsing
The one where someone gets plants, and when you deal damage, you flip it into the Lotus Land.
Oh my god, that one's so cool.
That's going in SRAM. Sorceress Spyglass, a peak built into a Pithing Needle is amazing.
Yeah.
Sentinel Totem is definitely going somewhere.
It is.
It's slightly weaker than Relic, but the fact that it exiles all things without a mana cost is very, very important for Modern.
It is pretty relevant. So everyone was talking about like what the value of the Scry 1 is, and everyone always says Scry is basically half a card. So it's half a card versus 1 on Relic, but the thing is you don't have to pay.
You have to pay a mana. So is half with no mana better than and it's actually 2.
Like in faster metas, I could definitely see this being
superior. If you have to face a lot of dredge, and you can't afford to leave mana. Like that's the thing, you can't afford to leave mana up all the time for Relic. This way you have no window. Turn 1, this is up forever.
It's sitting there waiting for the exact moment where you're like, I am activating this now. Now is when I'm dealing with you, not holding up mana in case I want to deal with you.
Yeah, exactly. It's super solid. Oh, something we almost forgot. I know we're kind of slipping into just to talk about the lands for a second.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know they printed Unknown Shores. That's sick new art for Unknown Shores.
Oh, I didn't see that. I guess that got...
Oh, I never even saw the other non-Jace basics, too.
Oh, I didn't see them yet.
Wow, look at these.
Wait, hold on.
Holy shit. Dude, look at the 3rd row of basics. Oh my god, look at the 4th row.
Oh man, we're back in Lorwyn.
Dude, these are really hot pretty. Basics.
These are look amazing in foil.
Wow, more foil lands. But for the lands, for the non-basics, getting the what are they called? The check lands?
The check lands back. I have
with new art
for a while. Check lands are one of those things that between like it was 2000.
Yeah, they were in every core set.
Yeah, because they're like these are lands that are simple. Everyone gets them. They're just generally good. They pay off if you play basics. So it promotes like a very healthy environment where you're not playing 4 colors like fucking Battle for Zendikar.
Also, key not fetchable.
And yeah, they're not fetchable. Like these are good.
You know what?
They're good to be cheap. I like having them in standard.
Could you? Could you imagine? No, it's okay. Could you? I'm laughing to myself. Imagine if with the core set next year they bring these back with the old artwork.
Oh my god. The flavor win.
But this is the lands out. So those are a great land, and the art is really cool. I love the Glacial Fortress art personally.
It's really nice.
I don't think I'll ever buy an old Glacial Fortress art ever again. But outside of that, we have Unclaimed Territory, which is uncommon, slightly worse Cavern of Souls, which no one's going to complain about. A second
also
cavern.
Kind of a better Ancient Ziggurat because it's the same.
It is,
effect,
yes.
but you can still use your generic mana for spells.
It's not a strict upgrade because Ancient Ziggurat goes for anything where the type doesn't actually matter.
Only for creatures?
It's only creatures any color.
Oh, I'm misremembering it.
That's okay. But that's why it's not a strict upgrade, but it's probably better because most decks don't want every creature type. They only really care about one because they're usually tribal.
Yeah, everyone was complaining about calling this a budget cavern because most people don't play cavern for the fixing; they play it for the uncounterability. But this is one of those like I need the fixing.
This is, you know what this is? This is the one that becomes a commander staple that a lot of people can have.
Yeah, I completely forgot. I need to order this ASAP for Slivers.
Yeah, and if you have Cavern, it's just a second one that's not uncounterable.
Yeah.
And Cavern is like still $100 card.
Yeah, I know. No, it's not It better not be up to 100. It dropped to 50 after the last reprint. I still need 2 more for Eldrazi.
No. It's fine. Let's check.
I think it's climbing.
43. That's still pricey.
It's still, yeah.
I think we still have one from the draft of Modern Mass. Dude, we still have a bunch. I actually took that foil Damnation. It's on the Kess pile right now.
Yeah, I may have to steal the Cavern and possibly the non-foil.
Dude, we'll see when you come out next week. It's fine. Honestly, we have so many cards sitting around. I'm probably gonna bring. So there's a girl at our shop, like the one girl who plays there regularly. Every time she sees a person, is like, got any trades?
She's one of those.
She is. And I'm just gonna be like, here's a binder full of all my mythics. Yeah, here's like a $5,000 binder. Don't fucking drop it. And I'm sure other people have crazy expensive trades, but also, anyway.
The one of the land. The
two other land. I mentioned Unknown Shores. That's just a great solid reprint. It's a shitty card to have to use, but it's a cool thing to have.
Yeah.
I always like having that card. I think the last time I had it was Battle. Field of Ruin.
Field of Ruin is an interesting card. It's Wizards' approach at making a new Ghost Quarters that doesn't set you back when you use it.
Yep.
So it costs a little more to use. It's 2 and tap it to sacrifice this land, destroy target non-basic and opponent controls. But then it says each player searches their library for a basic land put on the battlefield and does not say tap.
Exactly.
So it's the same kind of searchability that Ghost Quarters has for your opponent, but everyone searches. But the key thing here, and no one will shut up about this, is the implications for multiplayer, where you destroy one person's land and you destroy your own, but everyone on the table gets to search. So this is now a politics tool where you can say, like, hey, I'll fuck over his lands, but everyone else at the table, you guys all get to ramp, so don't fuck with me.
So the funny thing is, I think this sees more play in Modern than Commander.
I'm not sure just because of how much it costs to blow it up.
See, I agree with you, but I also feel like you're only net losing 1 mana.
Honestly,
versus...
I might put this into my Emeria Sun Titan control because I can search for planes off of blowing up someone else's land.
Yeah, like I know it's a mana investment, but you get 1 of the mana back.
Yeah.
So and it's colored, unlike Ghost Quarter. Like you know what I mean. You're gonna get a colored source.
Yeah.
Whereas with Ghost Quarter, you had a colorless thing that never did anything other than take something away, and your opponent ramped off. Like your opponent didn't lose anything, and you lost a lot. This is you pay some mana to lose a lot less.
You have to consider it ends up reading like 3 destroy a land opponent controls, add a color of whatever you choose in your mana pool.
Yep. Permanently. Well, actually, the land's even better than that.
Yeah, land's better.
And I think this is definitely better than Tech Edge, which sees Modern play.
It's way better than Tech Edge, but this is one of those things where this is not so busted that people are going to play it all the time.
Yep.
But if we see a point in Standard where everyone's trying to jam 4-color decks, I guarantee
this card takes off in a second.
4 Field of Ruin.
Holy
like,
shit!
Well, start playing 2-3 color like the rest of us.
Did you forget, Freeman? In Mono Black, there is now land destruction.
Actually, though,
at common land destruction.
Was it one destroy it and then they lose
Spreading
2
Rot,
or something?
4 and a black, destroy target land, its controller loses 2 life.
I was honestly shocked to see that card.
It's mind-boggling that Wizards is printing this. Like, actually.
It used to be Reds. They're like, nah, Red shouldn't have it anymore. Red shouldn't have it. Actually, let's let Black have it. Like, I can't
Sinkhole, baby! Yo, imagine if Sinkhole. Holy shit.
Oh my goodness.
No, that card's vintage for a
it's
reason.
not happening ever again.
But anyway, let's talk about commons and uncommons, where the real powerhouse of this set is. There's an insane amount of good, solid uncommons and commons even. Oh man, I forgot Blue has a lot of cards in this set actually that are pretty.
Favorable Winds got a reprint.
Yo, with sick new art too, and Air Elemental. Do you see that Air Elemental art? It looks great.
I didn't recognize it first just because how much has been reprinted with that one art. Oh man.
But there's the other cool thing is a lot of these mechanics are great. Raid is a great mechanic.
Explore
is super simple and super cool.
I saw someone complaining on the subreddit that they think it's too complex a mechanic because if you break it down into steps, there's like 5 steps to it. But the problem is, after you've explored for your first time in Magic,
it's so easy,
super duper intuitive.
Oh, it's so super.
And it's not one of those mechanics where you like can be like, I'm not sure how this works, but you don't want to ask your opponent. Like, as you're doing it, you're revealing shit to your opponent. Your opponent knows what's happening as well as you do. If you're confused, it's gonna be obvious what you need to do next.
And then correct me if I'm wrong, but there's only one other mechanic.
What was it? It was Raid.
Enrage.
Enrage is such a cool mechanic.
It's such a cool mechanic. Again, whenever this creature takes damage, you get a thing.
What I like about it is it's not really evasion, but it plays in sort of the same way.
Yep.
Like, I've had games where I lose, and like, well, I can't block these flyers. This is going to be a game where, like, I can stop myself from losing, but, like, I don't really want to block and let him draw cards or something like that.
Raptor Hatchling.
Yeah.
Whenever Raptor Hatchling is dealt damage as a 1/1, you get a 3/3 token because it probably dies. But that's sick. Like, it's basically a better version of the chicken from Hearthstone. Or the angry chicken. No, it is angry chicken. But there's just, like, I'm just looking through. There's just so many sick cards. And the way, like, the card that deals, the red card that deals 1 damage to your own creature and gives it trample and draw a card.
Yeah.
With Enrage, that's such insane value. Like, oh, post-combat, my creature has 2 health left. Well, I'll ping it for 1 to get the Enrage trigger and draw a card. Or trample it before combat. But, oh, God, I'm just working my way down. It sucks that Slice and Twain costs 4. Because unconditional... Like, I feel like removal of non-creatures has kind of taken a hit in recent years.
Kind of.
Like, well, I don't know about recent years, but playing Hour of Devastation, as soon as someone played a curse, you know, the Torment of Scarabs, the thing I fucking lost to every time I played it, that whole pre-release, I had no way to get rid of that. There's just no removal for that kind of thing. So to see it
really deal with it.
But the one thing that I really think is cool, Perilous Voyage. Like,
which one's this one?
Return target non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand for 1 blue and an instant.
Oh,
if it's cheap, card? Scry 2.
Yeah, that one's really cool.
It's really awesome because it totally gets around the fact that you never want to cast those cards on a tiny thing, and you always wonder whether you should save it. This is, well, there's a scary little thing that the guy buffed up, but I don't mind bouncing it because I get to Scry 2.
This, like, gives control a way to play against very, like, fast low to the ground decks.
Unless my fucking pre-release kit, yet again, forces me into complete aggro and then I lose, I am going to play control so hard at this pre-release. I want to so bad. With Opt in the format? I want to play Opt so bad. I want to play Draw Go in pre-release.
That's the dream, man.
Dude. Oh, Chart a Course. Chart a Course is what the hell so good. 1 in a blue. Draw 2 cards, then discard a card unless you attacked with a creature this turn. So it's like anti-raid.
Yeah.
Or like without raid, discard. But like, that's sick. Draw 2 for 2.
It is really good.
That's a rate that hasn't been seen in years. That's not even that bad of a downside. In limited?
It's honestly not.
Mana flooded. Goodbye, 1 land. Whoops. Draw 2 though.
Yeah.
God, like even Deathless Ancient, like it's just such a sweet design. The Merfolk enchantment. Okay, here's a question. I probably know the answer. Does Deeproot Waters at least get tested in Modern?
No.
Okay.
Turn 3 is too slow to be playing an enchantment that doesn't do anything that turn.
It's fair.
Also, it's on cast, so you don't get like the Aether Vial trigger doesn't matter.
That I forgot.
Like,
you are very correct.
What's it? Merrill Reedries whenever a Merfolk enters, or no, is he cast?
Cast. It's cast, I think.
Probably. It is cast.
Okay, next question.
Yeah.
We can both answer the question after this, but this question: is there any possibility of do you think someone somewhere is going to try to build a super cheap pirate deck so that they can run Lookouts Dispersal?
Lookouts
in Modern instead of Mana Leak.
Someone's gonna try, but 3 mana to get this thing to stick.
No.
Hold on, wait, no, it's shit, it's 2 if you control.
It's pirate. It's a better Mana Leak if you have a pirate.
I feel like it's too many hoops to jump through, and people are just gonna play Mana Leak if they want to.
Okay, it's fair. And I feel like if you see pirates, you know that this card is the reason.
Yeah.
So yeah. Now for both of us, I think I know the answer to this too, but I'll ask: Walk the Plank. Does that replace Victim of Night?
Is Victim of Night also a sorcery?
Yes.
It really depends. If someone starts playing this, Merfolk's just gonna jump up in meta share.
Victim of the Night. Oh, of course. The one thing that Wizards... Victim is an instant, I lied.
Oh. The problem is, and it's non-zombie. That's your problem, because the Delve creatures are zombies.
Well, I wasn't even thinking... So, Modern, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, I still think Modern, though... No. I still think Modern, though, because outside of the Delve... Like, is Death Shadow a zombie? That's the real question.
I want to say it's... Come on, what is it? It's an avatar, yeah, that's all it is.
I still think it's fine. I think I don't think Sorcery Speed's too slow.
It is.
And against Merfolk, it's also a dead card, which is still a deck versus a deck that sometimes versus a bunch of decks that sometimes play a zombie creature. But
the problem is, and I hate this, the two mana black removal spells always fuck me over. Like every time I go for the throat, I'm playing against your artifact decks. Or
I'm sure. I'm
playing against mono black. Like,
but here's the real question I was going to ask: does this replace Victim in EDH?
Probably. You are way less likely to see Merfolk creatures in EDH than you are to see at least zombies and vampires. Werewolves aren't super common. You see more werewolves than you see Merfolk.
In a casual meta, this takes over. In a more competitive meta, this doesn't take over.
No, the instant speed on Victim of the Night is way more important.
Exactly. That's my thinking, but I think for a more casual player, like if we were building a deck for someone in our group,
we put
the flavor. Well, the flavor of both, honestly, is fucking on point.
It is really nice.
Victim of the Night, where werewolves, zombies, and vampires can't be destroyed because they're getting victimized by night creatures. And Walk the Plank is a guy standing over sharks on a plank.
I really love the promo art they showed off for that one.
Yeah, and it's destroy target non-Merfolk creature. That's perfect. But Sorcery Speed's too slow.
Yeah. Stuff that's not Sorcery Speed, we got Lightning Strike back in Standard.
With incredibly unfortunate artwork.
I know.
I really think this sucks. I don't even think it's okay. I think this sucks.
I mean, the good part about it is you can play the other artwork version.
Absolutely. I play two... I bought 2 Koth promo Magma Sprays for my Standard deck. This looks like crap. The lightning... The purple lightning obscures the whole image of the goblin.
It really does.
And then it just looks terrible. It doesn't look cool. It's actually super disappointing artwork for me. But what else? The Favorable Winds reprint that we were talking about looks gorgeous. That really foil is going to be so... Jesus, dude.
Oh, hey, look. They printed Cancel again.
That's cool. I actually didn't see that until I looked at the full spoiler. I think having
it's a cannon getting exploded.
It's a cannon with a thing stuck in it, and he says "Hold your fire." Obviously, that's a great way to do that card. Dual Shot is a fantastic reprint with Enrage.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, I only need to kill one thing. Oh, why? I don't need to ping you. How about I ping my own creature and get the enrage trigger and
Get some
kill your
value off
1
of it.
health?
Yeah.
Demolish, I think, is a very important card to always have in Standard. It's one of those cards that
like,
never
cheap
sees
available answers.
Yeah, it never sees play, but it's definitely one of their safety valves because it was also in
It stops things from getting so bad that it needs to see play.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those cards. It's like if this card sees play, it's a warning sign. But all the other comments, like Depth of Desire, is super cool. A bounce spell that gives you a treasure, but it's slightly expensive. This is why I think I can make control work finally, because there was nothing like this in Hour.
Yeah.
Like Hour didn't have. Even March of the Drowned, get 2 pirates from your graveyard to your hand for 1 mana. That's gonna be in the pirate deck, I think.
It is.
I like actually in a standard deck. I think a 2 of. Get 2 pirates back from your graveyard for 1 mana. Come on, that has to be enough value for these fucking standard
really
people.
Good, especially in. I mean, you know, I was about to say there's no card drawing Grixis. I'm like, I'm a fucking idiot. But no, this is just a good card.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for its mana cost, because you're more likely than not, if you play this early enough, like you just want to get two of your creatures back, you can probably play one of them that turn. Late game, you're playing 2 creatures that turn off of a card you drew.
Yep.
It's great.
The little basic enchantments are good. I like Siren's Ruse. That has cool art. Bounce your own creature, and then if it's a pirate, draw a card. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That cycle of cards that has a sacrifice for 8 mana and do an effect on a 1 or 2 drop, or a, well, not one. I said that as the cheap commons that aren't very good.
Yeah.
That's a super sick cycle. The Keepers. That's a great little cycle. Almost done. A lot of the little combat tricks are cool. I'm not going to know all these cards like I did with Hour when we get there.
Yeah.
Duress reprint along with Opt and Modern.
I don't like the new Duress art, but I'm very excited that it's being reprinted.
I like the idea of the art, but I don't think it pulls it off super duper well.
Really.
And that's all for that. And then we get to the multicoloreds, which are, there's some solid. The 4 mana cost 3 vampire lifelink tokens is cool.
That is really cool. People were discussing, is it good enough for black-white tokens?
Probably
Short
not.
answer is no, it's too expensive.
I was actually going to ask you, and then in my own head, I'm like, even with what I know, that's probably a no.
Like, the lifelink's cool, but like, if they had flying lifelink, it would be honestly up for consideration.
It would be, I think it would be an instant take if it was flying lifelink. But that would be too good.
Yeah.
For limited.
Probably.
And everything else. Probably. See, here's the problem. Any deck that's good enough, any card that's good enough for black-white tokens probably ends up being too good for standard. Like, Lingering Souls is never going to get a reprint in standard. That card's too
They're
good.
not printing that again.
Nope.
They couldn't figure out how to make Inquisition of Kozilek work.
Nope. And then we talked about those. Even the common. Where is it? Yeah, the equipment that gives a treasure, the prying blade. I'm considering that for Strom. The little chalice that's a colorless ramp that drains a life. The golem is a nice little card to have for limited. The pirate's cutlass, like having the pirate's cutlass blows. What am I talking about?
It kind of sucks.
The cannon. I hadn't seen the elaborate fire cannon until just now. That thing's really cool.
It's odd. People are saying if at any point in the game you decide that this card is so bad I'm going to throw away for a 4 mana shock, something might not be right.
It's a problem. It's too bad we're losing Shadows because that's a great Madness Enabler.
Madness Enabler, yeah. Everyone was talking about that. Like, oh, wow, they print this right when it doesn't matter.
I don't think we could ever have seen a card get printed with anything related to discard with Shadows leaving and have people not be like that. People are going to be like that for a year because Madness is not a mechanic we're ever going to see in Standard again as long as we live. Like, Madness, I don't know if you read anything about it. Madness barely made it into Shadows.
It was pretty high on the storm scale, but they're like, no, we found a way to make it work. And they always did.
It's called making it weak as shit.
Yeah, making it unplayable pretty much.
Like, Madness, outside of Fiery Temper, which was good back when it was printed, was like, none of the good Madness cards are really that good.
The thing about that whole like block was normally what Wizards will do with the spring large block is, or the spring says they'll print something that's it's decent but it doesn't have a lot of enablers, and they're like, oh, you know what? In that third shitty set we put all the enablers,
and then they got rid
like because they got 4 months for rotation. Let's just make it OP. Like they did that with I want to call it, was it Landfall for enchantments? Constellation in Theros block. They're like, look, let's put all the good enchantment shit right at the end because you only get to play with it for 3 months. And now they can't do that anymore because they're like, oh shit, stuff is gonna linger around.
Yeah, dude. And now we're going to one set and then you're done. Large.
The first time.
It's gonna be weird, dude. That's gonna be a whole new world when we get to Dominaria.
I guarantee they're gonna have like a good set. They're gonna have 2 fuck ups and start changing shit again. Wizards is like so skittish about making sure they don't mess this one up.
Here's the problem. I bet you that set after Dominaria, like end of next year, that might be a Ravnica set.
It's almost definitely going to be Ravnica. I remember one of Maro's blogs was like, someone's like, "Oh, are we going back to Ravnica?" And he's like,
"He's like,
it's
as a
not,
question,
are we? It's
okay.
Like, how soon are we?"
But what else was he? Even if they weren't working on one, he would say that because of course we're going to go to fucking Ravnica because everyone loves. Okay, it's
like the Magic plane.
Look. People love Ixalan. People love Zendikar. I fucking love Kaladesh. Val loves Innistrad. Ravnica has people who love it, but everyone likes Ravnica. Everyone likes Ravnica. I don't see how you dislike it. As a plane, as sets, they're all cool.
Like the only time I've ever heard any complaints about Ravnica, it has to do with the city setting, but like in terms of an actual like card mechanics, rarely has anyone really complained.
The only thing that sucks was Dragon Maze's low power level.
Dragon Maze's low power level, maybe like how bad Haunt was as a mechanic. That's about all. Those are all my qualms about Ravnica.
You know what? Most of the problems with Ravnica are tied to Dimir having no identity in either set.
Kind of.
And how they really need to get a Dimir mechanic that doesn't fucking just be mill, but is still good. Like, they were probably banking... I remember when Shadows came out and everyone's like, Skulk kind of sucks. And Mara's like, yeah, we were really hoping Skulk could finally be the Dimir mechanic. And nope,
we went all in on this and no one liked it.
Skulk is cool, but it's like...
it feels like it's limited in what you're able to do.
It feels lame. Yeah, and
it forces you to just like put it on tiny creatures.
I'm pretty sure he said as soon as we finish Shadows, we're like, oh crap, this is no design space at all. But anyway, I think we're going to finally wrap this bad boy up. Yeah, we've been talking about Magic for almost 2 hours, which is one of the best things ever. But
actually, though, thank God Tyler didn't have to listen to any of this.
Yes, Tyler, we would probably like an hour ago, we'd be here.
Jeez, you fucking nerds done talking yet?
Guys, can I leave, please? Let me go. Let me go. But yeah, overall, Ixalan, as a set, is probably one of the best ones we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
It'll never beat Kaladesh for me, but it's
More importantly, I'm curious how sealed is, because like I personally love draft. I suck at
Dude, I do too. It's okay. The real reason I'm hoping you, Leslie, and maybe Luigi come out for pre-release is that we can have a nice block of shitty players so we don't feel bad.
Hell yeah. We just end up all getting paired against each other in round 1.
I haven't been able to draft at all lately, mostly because drafts are on Thursday night at our store.
Oh, they don't do on Fridays?
No. Friday night is standard. That's when I go play standard.
The store I went to used to do standard and draft, but the problem was there was always an overlap in between, so like you pretty much split the store in half.
Dude, standard barely fired 2 weeks ago. I didn't get to go today, obviously.
Yeah.
But fuck, standard had like, what was it, like 12 people?
I mean, standard usually.
We all got fatal pushes. Let me put it that way. I have a fatal push promo.
Oh hell yeah!
I'm gonna try to get 1 or 2 more. I didn't go this week because Val knew we were gonna do this, and she said spend time with me also.
Yeah.
But I want to go 1 or 2 more. I want to try to go for the last 2 Fridays of this month. Actually, next Friday probably not. So maybe only 1 more Friday.
1 more fatal push.
But I'd like 1 more fatal push, even though it's not a card I'm ever gonna use anywhere because I don't play Modern. And it's not good in Commander.
I need at least 2 foil fatal pushes, and I do not want to throw down money for these.
I'll give you my promo, probably.
I will purchase them from you.
But anyway, we're going to call it a day here. Thank you all for listening to us. I'm sure only like one person is listening, but you guy, you're awesome. Thank you for listening. MVP. We had a lot of fun doing this though because we love talking Magic, and it's awesome getting to do that with you guys. Oh shit! I just realized I recorded this whole time with my mic super high and the desktop audio super low. So hopefully,
okay, let's hope my recording comes out.
I might have to edit our audio together for once.
All right, good thing I'm recording.
But anyway, thank you all very much for listening. We will catch you guys on Thursday next week with the regular edition of the TNT podcast. Bye, everybody.
See ya.